Hey guys, it's Kayla. So today I am going to be starting up my summer videos because I uploaded in April and said I was going to keep doing it, and then finals happened and now it's summer and so I actually can. So it's the first video of my summer, that's what it is. And it's also the first video of a new series that I decided to make called Freshman Fridays. And so for the entire summer, maybe, unless I run out of topics too quick, I'm going to do videos about my freshman year instead of doing one giant big like 20-minute long just talking about how my freshman year of college went. I'm going to break it up into every Friday posting a video on topics that I think I need to talk about and what you guys want to hear about. So if you guys have any like requests to hear about things about my year, you can put them below. But yeah, every Friday I'm going to upload a video, probably at 10 a.m. About my first year of college. And yeah, I already have the first two planned, but just leave suggestions of what stuff you want to hear about. I'll obviously at some point talk about Greek life, finals, declaring a major. Like I can talk about that kind of stuff. But if you have anything specific that like you're like, oh, I wonder if she'll talk about this, or this is something that you really want to know and you can never find really information about it, even though it might be different for your school than it is for mine, having someone who has some intel on it could actually be really helpful, even if it doesn't actually apply to your school. Could help you go into things a little bit less scared. I know I didn't do a lot of like, you know, watching videos or like talking to people about how the first year of college went before I went in, and I think that would have been really beneficial to me if I had, so I want to be able to do that for you guys. Yeah. So today's first Freshman Friday is going to be about orientation, and this is going to be a really non-specific to anyone. Like, it's not going to apply to most of you, because my school has a very, very, very unique and specific orientation process, but I decided to go through it because I mean, this is kind of the orientation video to this series because, you know, it's the first one. So I'm like, yeah, I'm going to do that. So first part of orientation was obviously moving into school. So I got there really early in the morning. I think it was like 8:30. Yeah, that was really fun. I don't live far away from my school, so it wasn't like I had to wake up like at like 5 a.m. or anything ridiculous, but it was still like, okay. So I got up and went to the school, and first we had to go check in and get my student ID. Which was a long line, even at, you know, 8:45 or whatever we were in line. So we did that, walked around, kind of like saw the people who were there, and then we went over to my dorm and realized that since I live on the 4th floor, it was going to be really hellish to get all my stuff up there, because I have a lot of stuff. And I had a lot because I also went into college thinking I needed a lot, which is another video entirely I will talk about probably the next weeks. But anyway, so luckily my school has SWAT, which is Student Welcome Assistance Team. It's entirely Greek community members, and they go and like wait outside the freshman dorms on move-in day and like help freshmen move stuff in. And since I was one of the first people to get there in my building, and then my roommate got there like right after me, which was really convenient because we could get all our stuff up there at once, we had basically the entire SWAT for our building at our disposal. So we didn't actually have to carry a lot of our stuff. It was mostly like SWAT and our dads. We go downstairs and like tell people like, hey, that's gonna be really heavy, or that has something breakable in it. Please don't ruin that. And carried, I mean, we carried up a few things, but not a lot. So yeah, we got everything in there, and that was kind of ridiculous because as we got up there, we realized things that like we didn't bring. So like we didn't get a doorstop, which was kind of complicated when people were trying to move stuff into our room. We're like, oh, yeah, one of us needs to be up here to always open the door because we can't have it open. So my dad had to run down to the bookstore and get a doorstop. And then we're like, oh, but we want whiteboards for our door. So then my dad had to go down to the bookstore again and get, but yeah, so getting it all up there was bad enough. And then unpacking it because I had no idea how I wanted to organize anything. And so it was really stressful because like, my mom and my friend and my dad were like trying to unpack everything. I'm like, I don't know where we're putting this. Breathe, like, hold on. So I'm like, how about you guys just make my bed? Like, that's simple. I'm gonna try and figure out my desk. Like, I was just, it kind of stressed me out a lot. Because I'm a person who likes to have things my way. And it was really stressful having to deal with like other people moving in. But we did it. We got moved in. You guys have seen it. It was great. So then orientation started. And my school's orientation is split into 3 little sections. Preludes, perspectives, and passages. And so we had to go meet with our passages group, which was a camping trip that you guys were supposed to go on a camping trip. And so we had to go meet with our groups, and so we got to meet a lot of cool people that way. I didn't end up actually going on passages because the day we were supposed to leave, I ended up having like a massive like anxiety attack, and my mom was just like, "You're coming home for the weekend." So I ended up going home. My roommate ended up not going to passages either. It didn't work out for us. Which I've heard people had a lot of fun, and I'm sure if your school has something like that, go. Like, I'm not a big camping person, and so I don't feel like I really missed it, but people were saying it was such a great experience, and it's going to be a great way to meet people. So if your school has something like that, definitely go. Don't just be like, oh, I don't want to do that, and like sit in your dorm room all weekend, because that's really lame. So yeah, there's that, and I didn't end up going. I was supposed to go play like theater games, and it would have been really fun, I'm sure, but I just was like, yeah, it didn't work. And so then the next section, I don't even remember what order these were in anymore. We had preludes, and preludes is like kind of like an introduction to like college classes. And so I had took one with an anthropology professor. And it was really cool. Like, we were studying people. And so like we did some readings and we talked about them, and then we went out and we walked around the busy street by my school, and we had to observe people. And so he was like, okay, go sit at a restaurant, get lunch, and observe people. So me and a few friends went and sat in front of Starbucks and observed some of the weird people of Tacoma, and it was kind of cool. Then we went back and talked some more. And so it was kind of nice just to get this like day-long intensive on what college classes are like. And yeah, it was super fun. And it was also with the group that we were going to have a class with for the entire semester. So it really helped because our class that we had together for the semester was was about traveling. And so it had a lot of emphasis on people. So yeah, it was really nice that we got to have this like anthropology class together and then go into our seminar and learning about writing and traveling and all that kind of stuff. So that was really neat. And then we had another group that we were with the whole time, which was our advising group, which was also our perspectives group. But for our advising group, we all had a class together for the semester. It was an theatrical experience class. And so we would meet with our advisor, our student advisor, and then we had a perspectives leader. And a lot of like my best friends from school this year were in that group. Elise was someone I met the very first day. A, she lived on my floor. B, she was in my passages group, and C, she was in my advising class and all that. And so like I met people that I still talk to today, like, let's see, yeah, everyone. I mean, if I see any of the people from that class, I'll say hi to them. Like, it's really cool. And so we had to do all that and go through our advising, and we also did perspectives, which was kind of a community outreach program, community service. And our group went to a church, and we did yard work and worked on spreading bark in a playground and all that kind of fun stuff. But we basically just got to spend a day in the sun with like a bunch of new people and get to know each other, which was really neat because we were at the point where we'd been there for about a week, but we still didn't really know anyone. And so it was nice to get to know everyone like really well. Like I can honestly say that's probably the day that Elise and I became best friends, would be on that perspectives day, which was really neat because now, I mean, I'm still friends with her. I still talk to her every day. Like, she came to my house for Easter. Like, so it was really a good way to get to know people. So yeah, we did that, and then we had to go back and do registration, again with that group, and we had a really weird registration time, and it got pushed back by like an hour, and so we were all really stressing out. But most of us, for the most part, I think everyone in our group got the classes they wanted, which was nice. I had a really nice schedule, which I'll talk about in another video, but yeah, so my best advice for orientation is go to everything. Like, even the cheesy welcome speeches that you don't want to listen to, that you're only going to because your parents are dragging you to, go try and enjoy them. It's going to be a great way to get to know like what the school's all about. Especially if like the president of the school gives the speeches. Like, we had one our very first day, and we learned that our president says the word home like 8 trillion times in every speech he gives. And it was pretty funny. And so just go. Like, even if you don't want to, you need to just try everything because you'll meet people. B, you might learn something really important about your school that you wouldn't have learned otherwise. There's a program called Green Dot that we went to, and I was just kind of like, oh, I don't want to go to this. Like, I don't want to go here, you know, like, assault training all over and over again. Like, I don't want to, I've done this like all through high school, blah, blah, like, I was just like, But you get to learn a lot about your school's policies, and so it's been really helpful that I actually went to that because I know kind of how my school approaches things like that. And so it's a really good way, because you may think you know everything about your school, but you don't. I'm still learning things about Puget Sound every day, and so just make sure you go to all those things and learn everything you can. Meet all the people that you can, because you're going to want to have connections. You're going to want to meet all of the leaders of those, like, the upperclassmen leaders of any, like, groups you have to go to. Because I still talk to some of them. Like, if I see them, I go, hey, like, oh my gosh, I know you. Like, what? And so, like, and my perspectives leader is in my sorority. Like, it's just one of those things where you're going to get to know people. So just do it. Just meet people. Yeah. And just enjoy it, because after orientation's over, classes start and it gets busy. So try and enjoy it, even if you like, oh, this is totally cheesy. It is, but you'll get through it and you'll learn things and you'll meet people and it'll be great. So that is the very first Freshman Fridays. Next week, we're going to talk about dorm shopping. I was trying hard not to go into that when I was talking about moving in. We're going to talk about dorm shopping next week, but leave your suggestions for what you want me to talk about. If there's anything really you're dying to hear about, or if you're just like, Kayla, don't wait until the middle of the summer to talk about Greek life. Talk about it now. You can tell me that. So yeah, just let me know in the comments below any suggestions for Freshman Fridays and for other videos always. And I will talk to you guys in my next video. Bye!